Hello, my name is Wesley Harden, and welcome to my podcast, Keeping the Tempo. My guest here is,
Harmony Klingenmeyer.
and your job here is the choir teacher, right?
Yes, I teach choir and I teach drama.
So how does the choir levels go? Since I only went to choir 1 year.
I have 3 different choirs. We have a 6th grade choir here, and then we have our mixed choir, which is 7th and 8th grade. And then we have an audition choir that is called concert choir. And we do have a few 6th graders in that group by audition only. It is mostly 7th and 8th graders. And then we also have a special class here at JoLane called solo class. And we do some ensemble work in that class as well. But the focus there is singing solos, duets, and trios.
That's nice to hear because I only did choir for 1 year. I don't really know much about choir. I did it around Christmas time, and I sang some Christmas songs. So my first question here, after we talked about a tiny bit of your background, is what comes to your mind when someone says music?
Joy. Joy comes to mind. Experience comes to mind. Let's see. Emotion. Music creates strong feelings in us. It's magical, really. Music is magical. You can listen to a song, and before the song, you can be feeling one way. You can be feeling sad, or you can be feeling irritated, and then you listen to a piece of music, and all of a sudden, your mood, your emotional expression will shift completely. And it can also go the opposite direction. You can be feeling upbeat, and when you listen to a song, you can begin to experience sad emotions, deep emotions. So music is very powerful and has a massive impact on our emotions.
So what music do you prefer listening to? What music do you like, and what mood does it set you in usually?
Well, I listen to a great variety of music, but I am very choosy about the songs I listen to from different genres because I know how powerful music is. And in my home, with my children, in my car, on the way to school, I want to create an environment, an atmosphere that is uplifting and full of joy. And so I choose songs that create that environment, and it might look different depending on the day. I might listen to, rock and roll, or I might listen to classical music. I might listen to atmospheric music, which is just instrumental, not necessarily classical, but just instrumental music. Or I might listen to music that carries a specific message. So it just depends on the day.
So I heard that you had kids and you listen to music. Do you think that it's important for kids to grow up around music?
Indeed, I do. The science shows that babies sing before they speak. And the reason babies stop singing is because parents respond more when they say their first word. They say mama or dada, and then all of a sudden the parents get so excited. And so then they shift from singing over into speech because it receives more affirmation. The parents are excited, and they want their parents to be happy with them. Even as a baby, babies respond to the joy and the excitement of their parents. And so they shift into speech. But if a parent will sing back to a child, the first time the baby says, ooh, or ya, 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 or any sound like that, if the parent will sing back, oh, you're singing, and affirm the singing and sing back to them, they will continue to sing. Singing is a universal human behavior meant for all humans. Singing is not just for specific, talented, amazing singers. No, it's for everyone. And we tend to steal that from each other. Parents do it by telling small children, oh, you can't sing, or, ooh, that doesn't sound good. When they're just expressing themselves, they're expressing their humanity when they sing. So it's really important as adults that we create a culture where children feel free to express themselves musically, even if it doesn't sound the way we want it to. Because over time, as they're free, they'll begin to pick up on our musical traits too. So if we sing in key, If we sing with correct pitches, they'll begin to do that too. And the less we discourage them, the better.
So you think of music as a form of expression of sorts?
Yes, absolutely. And we express our humanity, we express our feelings, we express our love, we express our devotion, we express our patriotism, our love for country, we express our connection to communities, faith-based music is really a connection that we create within community that says we all belong to this group together. Music is an expression of community.
I think music is a really good way to also get some output in with feelings and all that, and could be, what's the word? Like therapeutic?
Therapeutic, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is therapeutic, very much so. In fact, there's a whole science around music therapy that helps, especially small children who are less verbal or nonverbal, begin to express how they feel. And a lot of children who are nonverbal, the first time they say a word is when they sing it. In fact, there are children, some on the autism spectrum, who never speak, but they will sing. They'll sing sentences, they'll sing ideas, they'll sing feelings. So there's a lot of powerful science behind singing and what it does for the human brain. Yes, I was going to say something else. I lost my train of thought, which is okay.
Okay. So, I had a question that says, does music affect unborn children?
Yes, it does. Yes. So just as all communication outside the womb. So if two parents are having a conversation and that conversation is loving and kind and there's a mutual respect between the mom and the dad, that actually impacts the baby in the womb. They begin to sense what the environment outside the womb is. And of course, that's all unconscious. They don't do it like, they're not thinking in their heads, oh yes, this is what life is like, right? But it's impacting how the neural pathways form in the brain. And they will come out with more security. They will come out with more peace if the atmosphere outside the womb is peaceful. And so, and of course, there's all sorts of things that impact babies in the womb. Your nutrition impacts babies in the womb. Whether or not you use substances while you're pregnant impacts babies in the womb. And then on top of that, of course, what we expose them to with music. In fact, if you expose children, there's some science that says if you expose children to classical music in the womb, they come out more, their brains function at a higher level. So they're already creating cognitive responses that are quicker. They will be more, be able to learn letters and numbers quicker if you expose babies to classical music. It just makes you smarter. There's science that says that. So the more we expose our kids to those things, the better.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you into any Broadway musicals?
Oh, yes. I love Broadway musicals. And I really like a variety. I like those from, 40, 50, 60 years ago, too. I love The Sound of Music, for example. I love Carousel. I love Oklahoma. And then there's some that have been written, like late 70s, early 80s, like Phantom of the Opera, that I love, Les Mis, that I love. And then there's some new Broadway musicals that I think are fantastic as well. I love the musical Wicked. I saw it in Chicago, and it was really good. And I have thoroughly listened to the musical, and I put that in quotations because of the style of music, but Hamilton, I've listened to the music quite extensively, and I think it has real merit and value, and it's very intelligent music, although it's not your typical musical genre, but it is very good.
Hamilton is one of those musicals that I've thought was very unique, especially when genre-wise. Hamilton was my first musical that I ever, really listened to. I have another question for you. I know you play lots of instruments. Can you name a few of them?
Well, I play mostly percussion instruments. I'm a pianist, first and foremost, and the piano is a percussion instrument. I play the congas, and I play xylophones and marimbas and things of that nature.
So do you think that every, percussion, bass, and guitar, all the sounds and all that, do you think they're all important to have together? What do you think has the most value? If not, do they all have the same value?
I think ensembles have value because of what it teaches to work in teams. So the more people can work together in band, orchestra, or choir, the better.
So lastly, our last question, since it's getting a little long, do you like your job here?
I love it. It hardly feels like work most days. I love my students. I feel very connected with my students. And I feel like we're creating a wonderful community, musical community here with Mr. Thompson as well.
All right, thank you. This was my podcast, Keeping the Tempo, with my guest here, who is...
Mrs. Klingenmeyer.
And my producer, Zoe Johnson. It's been real.